And we're live. All right, Saddam. My name is Mustafa. Sorry for the late start. Really quick intro for those of you new to the channel. If this is your first time finding this channel, my name is Mustafa. On this channel, I focus on video game topics that involve like industry corruption, them ruining authentic storytelling, things that are wrong with the industry right now. I am a game developer. I have worked in the game industry. I've done, when I was in the AAA industry, I've done administration and QA work. And then when I left the AAA industry, I started my own brand, Subar Path, which is the brand of this channel. And I've released one game on my own. I'm working on releasing a second game that's still in development at the moment. It's hard finding time, working multiple jobs and trying to get stuff done, but here we go. Anyways, so let's get to today's topic is we're going to have two topics I'm going to cover. Well, first of all, since I started late, I usually start at 10 Central Time. Right now it's 11:40. I'm going to go for the usual 90 minutes. I'm trying not to keep these too long. So I'm going to go for 90 minutes. So I'm going to go until like 1:30. No, not 1:30. 1 o'clock. Yeah. So yeah, about 1 o'clock Central Time. Anyways. Yeah, 1:30 would be like 2 hours. Anyway, so also really quick update. Last live stream I mentioned that I'm likely going to start doing less videos. So this week I'm going to experiment. The topic I'm going to talk about during the live stream, I'm basically going to cut that into a shorter video. So that's going to be what I'm going to try this week to try to utilize my time. I'm pretty busy this week, especially with all the work I have to do. This is finals for my course, so I got a lot of work to do this week, and then next week I gotta really double, triple down on finding a new job. But anyways, that's basically what is going on. I trying to utilize my time more efficiently. So the video I'm going to put out this week is going to come out of this. In fact, let me start recording as well. It's local recording. Anyways, so yeah. That's the quick update as far as the channel. I haven't given up on the channel yet. I just want to drastically reduce the amount of time that I put into the channel so that I can focus on work. So anyways, we're going to go into the main topic. First, we're going to talk about Ghost of Yotei, Atsu, the main character, and then after that, we're going to talk about the, what's it called? Splinter Cell Deathwatch. Let me see. Are there participants? Okay, no. Anyways. Also, if you want to drop a super chat at any point, go ahead. But I will keep an eye on the chat in general and interact with you guys. So anyways, starting off with our first topic, where is the main ridiculous, there it is. Okay, so this one, let's start screen sharing, right screen. Oh no, I don't need to blur that out. Let's remove the blur. I installed a blur filter in case I need to use it, and it takes a second to turn it on and off. But so okay, we'll turn it off. Let's transition over. Here we go. And So this tweet just went crazy. Oh, hey, Servan Balahi, welcome, welcome to the stream. Oh, we don't need an ad. Let's skip it, especially since I just started. Skip ad. Don't do the ad. Um, 1 second. Like, let me pause. Well, actually, let me cover the screen. My wife needs to talk to me, so I will be right back. Where is? There it is. Hold. This is it. Okay, let me transition. Okay. All right. All right. I think I'm back. Yeah, I appear to be back on screen. All right. Yeah, sorry. My wife needed to talk to me, but we're back. Hey, personal YouTube account and Servan Balahi, thank you for joining. Getting back to the main topic. So this tweet got very viral. I'm not too sure why it got viral. I'm not sure if this person just has a really big following or something. She does have a big following. Wow, 200. Well, she has a big following for a reason. But anyways, due to that, her goofy tweet went extremely viral. It got let's see, we got to over 2 million views at this point. Are you Australian or British, Sarah? Who's, Sarah Van. Okay. So that's not a question for me. Anyways, so this YouTuber not YouTube. This person She Rage went viral due to this claim that she makes. She says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but women who don't personally find attractive exist in the real world, and they can exist in video games as well. If you can't play a video game without every woman in it looking like a gooner fantasy, you are brain rotted and need help. So her example is that she has these 6 characters saying that this is the claim that guys want, and these are the 6 characters that, or at least 6 examples that guys are rejecting due to their looks. Um, first and foremost, I want to, before I get into dissecting this, I want to say that I really don't like this image that's constantly being used for Aloy, because it's completely disingenuous as to what she actually looks like in the game. That image is constantly used all the time. I guess it got spread due to people saying, "Oh, she got fat," and this was within the same trailer. You can see that she didn't get fat. This was like one really short segment from a cinematic trailer where she's looking at the camera, and it's like a fisheye lens, and it made her face look wider, and she doesn't even look like that in the game. Um, doesn't seem like she understands the issue here. Ugly people exist in real life isn't the problem. Yeah, exactly. But we're going to get into that. I'm going to go into multiple points with this. But, I just want to say that, this image of Aloy constantly being misrepresented, and whether it, whatever side of the argument's being made, like, this isn't what she actually looks like in the game. So, like, quit using this image of her. This is just from one trailer. It's literally one image of her, and they keep on reusing it as if that's what she looks like in the game. The game's been out for years now. We know that she doesn't look like that in the game. I asked because you said mate, which is often. Oh, okay. That's not for me. Anyways, so let me get my notes up. Just want to make sure I cover everything I want to talk about. So first of all, like, this is I made my own reply to this, or not a reply, but a quote tweet over here. So I made my own quote tweet over here, basically saying that this has been something that I've been talking about on my channel for a while, which is mass appeal versus a niche appeal. She clearly doesn't know what the difference is. Or she wants to pretend she doesn't know what the difference is, because if you look at her profile, she's clearly appealing towards a niche audience of people who want to spend money to see her, because she's roided out and likes to show her body. Let's see. No need to get hung up on the image. She's not attractive. Well, I don't like the fact that this is. It's just disingenuous. That's what I don't like. Just constantly using the same image of her that looks worse than what she actually looks like in the game. This is all propaganda. Yes, I agree. So, the point I'm making with the mass appeal is that when games are being made, or when games are a product, you want to sell the product to as many people as possible, especially for these games that are developed with hundreds of millions of dollars. And they put so much money into these games, they want to make so much money back. One of these, let me switch over to camera only. Transition. So let me look for this other tab real quick. I really like what this person says. I completely agree with this person says. One second. Everything. All right, here we go. This one. All right, so let me switch back. Transition. Who decides how female characters look anyway? The creative team or the higher ups? So basically, the way how it works is that you have a hierarchy of management, and that even includes the art team. The art team will have like an so you'll have a creative director who's like the overall vision. The creative director is who like macro manages the whole thing and makes sure that everything's lined up. Then with the art team, you'll have like an art director. You might even have several art directors for different fields. Like for example, one might be more for the narrative. Another one would be more for like the overall like theme. But then underneath the art director, you'll have like associate art directors, and though each of those associate art directors are in charge of a specific art team that's in charge of a smaller portion of the game. That's how AAA industry. It has a hierarchy. There are levels, and everything. So that they'll give uh, the job, the assignment. They'll give the assignment to an artist and be like, okay, we need this type of character, and then they might come up with like multiple character designs for a specific character, and they will go through an art review. Usually, it's either with like the associate art director or the team leader going through everybody's artwork, and then they'll check off on things, or it might be like a collaborative, like a team effort where they go over things. But it's usually like the team leader or the the associate art director who will like do the art review. So everything basically gets checked off. Things don't just slide through. Like a person at the bottom, if the person at the bottom comes up with something, it won't just like sneak through and get into the game. It needs to come from the higher ups. The higher ups give the assignment, and then it goes down to the bottom, and then the people at the bottom will create the artwork, and then whatever passes, like it goes through the hierarchy and it gets checked off. Oh, is my camera frozen? Okay. Let me 1 second. Let me change transition. Okay, so and then I'll transition back to that. All right, that one looks like it's not working. So let's fix this. Let's open that up. Let's disable. How do I disable? Whoops, cancel. Camera. Where's camera? Camera with drop shadow. Okay, so that video, and then let's deactivate that, and then we'll activate it. Okay, all right. I think it's working. It's working now, right? Correct? Is it working? This is weird. Okay. Oh, I think it's because I'm using Studio View, and I have like one like this is what you guys see on one side, and then what the next scene is on the other side, and it doesn't like having the camera on both. I think that's what's going on. But that's kind of annoying. But let me go back to this. Let me go back to this. Okay, that's camera. Okay, the camera only. Deactivate, activate. Okay, all right. This is gonna be rough. Anyways. Just like a steak shop analogy. Nice, the hero. Oh wait, I think I missed some stuff. Let me scroll up. No need to get. Okay, I read that already. Who decided? Okay, read that. Agree on. Aloy boring, can frozen. I don't want to buy a chocolate and have bad packaging. I prefer the look of attractive packaging. Yeah, like I mean, packaging makes a difference. Even if the thing is not ruined or destroyed, like if you have two, you see whatever it is, some sort of you buy a brand new whatever any boxed product. You see a boxed product, even if it's an electronic or something like that. You see one that's a broken box, and you see one that's a brand new box. 90 times out of 100, maybe 98 times out of 100, you're gonna go for you're gonna go for the cleaner box. You're gonna go for the one that looks better, because the broken box might have a broken product in it. It's like a steak shop analogy. Nice, the hero. It's frozen again. Is it still frozen? I don't think it's frozen anymore. Looks like it's working, but anyways, so what was I saying here? So I was talking about how characters get approved. But yeah, this person who I showed the tweet a second ago, he said, this person says, you guys have this same false dichotomy argument or something. The art is the product. You want to sell a lot of the art product, make it appealing to the mass audience. And I completely agree with this person. I don't have it on the screen at the second. I'm going to share screen in a moment. But I completely agree that you want something to sell. You want it to appeal to the mass audience. And this is a point I've made on the channel before, that there's mass appeal, which is needed. It's crucial for larger projects, versus niche appeal, which it's fine. It's fine for you to like something that's niche appeal, and also it works for smaller projects such as indie, because they don't need to sell as much, and niche appeal can connect more because it is more tailored towards that specific audience. It's you hone in on what that audience likes. And that's fine, but that doesn't work for mass appeal products. Whether it's a video game or a movie, TV show, whatever it is, you want to sell more, you want to have it mass appeal. And that's why there's a complaint with these video games having niche appeal characters or intentionally unattractive characters, whatever you want to call it. These characters are putting off the mass audience who are essential for the success of these games. Hey, Angry Chair, welcome. Welcome to the stream. So, with that said, like, universal beauty is a real thing. They want to act like art and beauty are subjective. Beauty is not subject. Preference, I've talked about this on the channel. Preference is subjective. Whether you prefer someone having a certain hairstyle, like, if you prefer blonde or brunette, if you prefer, if you prefer vanilla over chocolate, if you prefer spicy over sweet, like, all these things are preference. It doesn't mean the other thing is bad. It doesn't mean that the other thing is not also good. It just means you prefer. They mix up preference as if that is the same thing as universal appeal. There is such thing as universal appeal. Universally, and when I say universally, I'm talking about like the vast majority. There's always going to be outliers. Outliers will always exist, but universally, there's going to be an agreement over what is appealing. For example, if you look at a sunset over the ocean horizon, universally, the majority of people will agree that is beautiful when they start seeing it, because the colors, the color of the sun, the reflection off the water, the symmetry, like all of it looks beautiful. It's attractive. Mountain scenes, scenes of nature. Like these are generally seen as universal beauty. When it comes to humans, we are attracted to what's healthy because we're programmed for survival. Survival is important for humans. So a part of survival is mating, breeding, having children, so that our families can help take care of ourselves because there's strength in numbers. And if we try to go lone wolf, we're not going to survive. So we're attracted to what's healthy. For men, finding fertility is what's ingrained in our attraction. Like we'll find like youthfulness, because youthfulness ties in with if the woman is fertile or not. If she's older, she's less likely to be able to bear children. That doesn't mean the woman no longer has value. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when it comes to looking for a mate, that is what attracts. On top of that, on top of youthfulness, if the woman is healthy, like if she is not overweight, she is fit, that indicates that she can survive. Curves indicate that natural curves indicate that the like childbearing hips. She's ready to bear children. All these things matter. And then there's also like facial structure, or like smooth skin, no deformities. These things show that they don't have any sort of illness. And when it comes to like a face, the average is usually seen as more appealing than extremes. Extremes can be attractive to certain people, but the average is going to be more appealing to a larger number of people. And I'm going to go into that more in a little bit later. But these are things that men see in women, and with women seeing in men, it's usually, it's also tied with survival. If the man is strong enough, capable enough, competent enough to take care of them. So physical strength, looking healthy, confidence, competence, all these things. If they're able to take care of them, if they're able to take care of them and their family, these are seen as attractive because, as I said, survival is ingrained in our programming. Let's see. The Mega Bonk was made with $0 and sold as much. I don't know what Mega Bonk is. But welcome to the live stream, Hero Keeper of the Shop. So yeah, like all these things tie in with universal beauty. And I'm not saying someone who has extremes, such as, for example, an extreme can be being a bodybuilder, a man being a bodybuilder. Not every woman is going to see that as appealing. In fact, there's lots of women who see someone like Ronnie Coleman. Everyone wants to be a bodybuilder, but no one wants to lift. Not every woman. There's a lot of women who see someone like Ronnie Coleman and think that looks gross because he took it to an extreme. But there are people who find that kind of physique attractive. So just because something's an extreme doesn't mean it's unattractive to everybody. It just means it's more of a niche. And the same goes with like facial features as well. Extremes can be seen as beautiful, like someone with like really abnormally large eyes. Not everyone's going to see that as attractive. Some people see that as extremely attractive, but not everyone's going to see that as attractive because it's outside of the norm. Let me pull this up real quick. So talking about, since I'm talking about this topic, let's go over to scene. Let's transition. Okay, so Scott McCloud, not to be confused with Fox McCloud, but Scott McCloud is known for teaching how to write comic books. He has some well-known books as far as creating comic books. And one thing he describes in his comic book, let me make this a little bit bigger. It's a little blurry though. But okay, so one thing he describes is that when you make a character that's extremely defined and extremely specific, less people are going to be able to put themselves into that character's shoes. So this hyper realistic image of this man, only one person will look at this and be like, that is me. But then when you get a little less detailed, more people will be like, that is me. And then when you get even less detailed, thousands of people will be like, that is me. You get even less detailed, and again, you get to millions. And then when you basically have a smiley face, this is going to be universal. Everyone will basically be able to look at this and say, yeah, that is me. That's why a smiley face is usually represents the self. And the way we can demonstrate the truth to this is that if we look at the most popular characters in media, they are always the most simple characters as well. For example, you have Mickey Mouse, you have Mario, you have Pikachu, Winnie the Pooh. All these characters that are like some of the most popular characters ever, they are also the simplest characters. They have very simple designs. And yeah, you could say Mario has a mustache, so he's a little bit specific, but his design is not a realistic design. His design is a very cartoonish, very simplified design. And this is why cartoony characters are going to have broader appeal than more realistic characters. Let's go back. As he explains here, when you see this guy, you see somebody else. When you see this, you see yourself. And this is the point I'm making with, this is one reason why averages are generally, let me put myself on screen. So this is generally why the average face, someone who has more average facial features, like their eyes are average, their eyes are average size, their mouths aren't too big or too small, their noses aren't too big or too small, etc. This is why those faces are generally seen as more attractive to a larger audience because it is more relatable in a physical sense rather than an extremely far extreme. And that doesn't mean that the person can't connect with someone who's a far extreme. I mean, like, my wife and I, we are of different race and we look completely different. I got a big oval head. She has a small circle head. We're both very different. So I'm not saying that you need to find someone like you to be attracted to them, but in a general sense, when we look at the broader picture, more people are going to be able to connect with somebody that looks more average. Krillin is attractive. He's a beast. I mean, look at he got with Android 18. That's basically the character that all the Dragon Ball fans want to get with. I only see myself as that because I'm bald. Oh, the entire Dragon Ball cast. Yeah, so yeah, I mean that's basically, I mean, yeah, if you look at the entire Dragon Ball cast, they all have the same face. Like Tien has the same face as Goku. The only difference is Tien has a third eye. Like, but other than that, like they all have like the same face, and that helps make them look like you can appeal more to them. Also, the fact that their faces are very stylized. They don't have realistic faces, like especially, well, they start in Dragon Ball. if you look at Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z, the art styles shifted a little bit because Dragon Ball had more round characters, especially like the heads and eyes were more round, and when they had the characters being kids. But then once they transitioned to being adults and everyone started getting jacked, and they all had like these very very wide eyes, short but wide eyes. They all had like the scowling eyes as well. Ha ha! Yeah, I'm gonna get in my next form. So yeah. So but the point being, like they're very stylized, and usually stylized because of how vague it looks compared to a human. It's not hyper realistic. It helps connect with the audience more. That's the genius of Toriyama. Toriyama he was brilliant when it comes to character design and making very cool looking scenes. He was very good at that. You want to learn about making cool characters, like study Toriyama's character designs, and like he was also really good at making scenes look cool. He was bad at storytelling though. He had zero memory. He could not remember his own characters, and also plot holes galore, plot holes all over the place. But yeah, he was very good at making great looking characters, very appealing characters, and that's what his strength was. His strength was definitely making characters that look cool. Batman eyes, yeah, definitely. That's what he had. He had Batman eyes. So. That's what I want to make talk about. Let me see. So universal appeal was the next thing I want to talk about. Okay, so let me get this on screen. Some of these clowns. So basically, this person that we're looking at her tweet, she clearly is not understanding, or at least acting like universal or mass appeal doesn't exist, and she's acting like it doesn't matter. Let's move to, where is it? Okay, so here's the next thing I want to talk about with this topic. So this clown, let me move on to this scene. All right, transition. Let me get me on here. Transition. Okay, yeah. All right, so it seems like if I transition to just the screen first and then I bring myself in, it shouldn't freeze the camera. So we have this clown over here. Female characters that actual gamers want. And it's a 16-year-old. You'll need to be locked up. Okay. First of all, why are we talking about these characters being sexualized? That's number one. There's a difference between appeal, good looking, being attractive, and sexualization. Those are not the same thing. There's crossover, but they're not the same thing. You don't need to want to sleep with somebody just because you say that they're attractive. That's not the same thing. Like, I tell my two sons, got a 5-year-old son, a 3-year-old son, I tell them all the time, especially when they're dressed up, they look nice, I say, you're handsome. It's fine to say someone's good looking. It's not the same thing. I tell my boys, you're handsome. I have my little girl, she's almost 1 year old. I give her kisses and I tell her she's beautiful all the time. That's fine to acknowledge that someone's good looking. It's not the same thing. When you want to conflate it as the same thing, when you say that someone's good looking is the same thing as wanting to sleep with them, that tells more about you. That's projection. That's where your head's at. That's one thing. Okay, let's see. Let me get through this before I get to the chat. So that's one thing. The next thing is because I believe there's also which one is it? I think this one might be it. No, every single. Oh, it should be over here. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. So this person's a similar mindset. All right, so we have Kada over here, clearly making a joke. This is clearly supposed to be a joke, saying that perhaps I treated you too harshly to Ubisoft because of Naue looking better than Atsu. Clearly, she looks better. This is definitely a more appealing face. And then this guy's like, "Oh, she's 17, you weirdo." Same mindset as this person. "Oh, she's 16, you weirdo." First of all, not everybody knows the age. In fact, most people like who haven't even played these games don't even know the age of these characters. That's one thing. So it's like, okay, we see a character who's presenting as an adult. Like, all right, let me see your ID, your government ID, you fictional character. Let me see your government ID. How old are you supposed to be? Secondly, that's one thing. Secondly, as I mentioned, the characters they read as adults. You could easily say this character is like 25, and I'd be like, yeah, sure. Same with Naue. Naue, you could say she's like 24 or something like that. All right, yeah. I mean, like, what it's the age that they decided that the character is narratively, but regardless, it's a fictional character that they just decided however old the character is supposed to be. You're acting like people who acknowledge that a character is attractive, or at least has an appealing look, is the same thing as someone who wants to be a predator because the character within that fictional world is underage. Like that's not even like, where is your mind at for you to get into that mental gymnastics? Let me get to the chat real quick. Krillin is winner. Okay. The genius of Toriyama, Batman. Okay, yeah, I read that. Toriyama was on another level of originality. When all anime faces looked like cats, he did differently. And Dragon Quest is amazing because of that art style. Yeah, he was definitely he is a pioneer. Oh, went down the wrong hole. Ow. Sorry about that. Ugh. Anyways, did Kira had small percentage of also? So from what I understand, when he died, he had some sort of a brain tumor. I don't know like how long that's been with him, or if that's been like a lifelong issue. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a lifelong issue. I don't really know the details, but if that was a lifelong issue, that he had something with his brain going on, that would definitely explain why he can't even remember his own characters. He couldn't remember what hair color was Trunks' hair color. Like, he swapped it around because he couldn't remember. He couldn't remember Launch. He completely forgot about Launch. And just wrote her out, and then eventually added her back in for one scene in Dragon Ball Z. So he definitely because he couldn't even remember his own characters. I wouldn't be surprised that he had something going on. I need easy mode for Expedition 33. I literally can't play this game. The bosses keep getting harder. I have not played it yet. I would like to. Let's switch cameras. Let's transition back. All right. Now I'm back. I am on the screen. Laughing emoji. Okay, I know that. But would avoid just to push an agenda. Would avoid what? Is it the discussion I said about the age thing, or let me catch up. I think mass appeal works more when you're young. You literally think the world revolves around you. I think it fades the older you get. Uh, I think when it comes to a person finding a mate, especially if they already found their mate, like it matters less. But in the general sense, when we're talking about mass appeal with like media, with marketing, I think it still matters. You still want to have your product look appealing over a product that doesn't look appealing. Like if you have two games that play similarly, and then one has characters that look appealing and the other one doesn't, the people will choose the game that has the more appealing looking characters. And again, that's not saying that they have to be sexualized characters. It just can be like a more appealing art style. It could be the characters don't look ugly. Like for example, Concord had ugly characters. Like graphically, the fidelity looked good, but the character designs looked bad. And it was definitely a major factor as to why people didn't even give the game a try. Even when it was a free open beta, people didn't even give the game a try because it just looked unimpressive. It looked uninspiring. Infamous First Light is what I consider the best woman writing. I have yet to play that one. I don't know. I was done with when I played infamous. What was it called? Second Son. I think I own First Light, and I might have played like the first 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm not interested anymore. I don't know, I was just kind of done with Infamous after I beat Second Son. It just was. It wasn't as good as the other Infamous games, especially Infamous 2. There's very few games I platinumed, and I platinumed that one. I had a lot of fun with Infamous 2. Most of the artists that does this is learned the basics of anatomy only to pretend they don't know what's attractive. Yeah. She's like average girl with good story, wanting to help her brother from the. Okay, so this is the character I had on screen. Yes, design principle. I thought both Naue and Atsu is 35 or 40. I was adding the entire character appeal. Okay, all right, but yeah. So yeah, one of my videos in which I'm talking about Atsu, I say people are not like the mass audience is not appealed to play as a middle-aged woman. And I had multiple people saying, what are you talking about? Atsu's in her 20s. You can say she's in her 20s, but she doesn't read that she's in her 20s. Like you could say she's in her 20s all you want. Like narratively she could be in her 20s, but they made Atsu look older than Erica, the voice actress. I will stand on that. They made Atsu look older than Erica. Erica in real life looks younger than the character Atsu, okay? Erica is 38 years old. She's middle-aged. So for me to say Atsu is middle-aged, you have to convince me that she doesn't look older than Erica, which she does. Concord did a reverse mass appeal. Yeah, exactly. So there's this whole nonsense with people saying, "Oh, you guys are gooning over 16-year-olds. You're the one who's making it about sex appeal." That tells us more about you. This has nothing to do with sex appeal. Though there are people, like, I will get this on screen in a moment. Where is it? I got too many tabs. I'm closing some out. Every single care. Okay, let's close that one out. Close that one out. Okay, all right. Let me go here. Where is it? Suburb. All right. Okay, there we go. And right screen. There we go. All right. Let me put the blur on because I don't like to have these things on screen. The Rule 34 people, I guess. Yeah. No, cancel. Let's do filter. Filter. Turn this on. Let's move this down. Whoops, no. Let's move this over here. Let's move it down there. Let's make this a blurrier. Move this width. Then move this over here. Reduce the height. There we go. This is annoying. All right, let me move that a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, so let's make that more blurry. There, yeah. All right, close. All right, let's switch scenes. Transition. And then I'll add myself on here. Transition. There we go. All right, yeah. So I mean, I just don't like cam is stuck again. I think I fixed it. Anyways. So we got guys like Philip Chan over here. And I'm pretty certain he's saying this as a maybe like half joking but half serious. You know, designed with gamers in mind, designed with activists in mind. And I see like so many other images like this. And like due to them being half serious as they're joking about these things, it gives ammunition to the other side of the argument, saying, "Oh, see, told you, you guys are nothing but a bunch of gooners. This is all you care about. You just sex driven." And yeah, some of these people are serious, but it's like, no, we don't. Characters don't need to look ridiculously hypersexualized. A character can be attractive and appealing looking with all that. Like not like even the face, like the face doesn't even need to be that extreme. I mean, this is a bit glamorized. She's wearing makeup, and she looks like a model. It doesn't even need to be that extreme. Like a character can still look appealing. The point is, like, they went out of their way to make this character look worse than the voice actress herself. I'm not trying to bash on the voice actress. There's plenty of things to say about her, but I don't want to turn this into like bashing on her. But instead, the face looks a bit more Korean. Probably. I really I don't know. I don't know better. But you know, the point being is that they took the voice actress, and they intentionally made it look like her, but also worse. Like they doubled down on making like the pores look worse, more detailed. You know, rather than having smoother skin, they like went out of their way to make, you know, the pores more noticeable. You know, like emphasizing on like a large nose. You know, they even like, you know, her like whatever this slit on her eyebrow. They kept that, and people are like, oh, look how detailed the engine is. Which that has nothing to do with the engine itself. It has more to do with the artists that are focusing on her character. Let's see, what you say? I really thought Ghost of Yotei, the protagonist, a male. When my first reaction, let me get this off the screen. Let's go. All right. Switch up transition. Okay, I think yeah, I'm moving. It works. Scene. Okay, let me just go ahead and get that blur off the screen for the next thing. Filters, turn off that blur. Turn off the blur. Close. All right. So yeah, like my point being with bringing that up is that it just it gives them ammunition. I'm personally I don't want to advocate that to begin with, but I think uh it ruins the point when there's people like me who are like, yeah, these characters are not appealing. You're not doing anyone any favors with this. You're not selling games. You're going to lead to mass layoffs. You're ruining the game industry. But then, we're trying to say that there's a difference between appealing and attractive and sexualization. Like those are two different things. There can be crossover, but they're different things. And then you have people like Philip Chan over here who are like just straight up like, yeah, this is what gamers have in mind, and this is what you're giving us. And yeah, sure, that's funny, but like you're just adding fuel to the fire. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat. Okay, I think I don't see anything else. Yeah. If anyone wants to, I mean, like, yeah, I'm going to keep trying to keep an eye on the chat, and if anyone wants to drop a super chat at any point, feel free. No need to. I'll still read your. I'm still keeping up with the chat, and I'm going to read everything that comes on. Let's see. Whoa, let's bring this down so I can see that a little bit better. So, oh, and since we're talking about sexualization, though, so that's original poster, this woman, She Rage, Princess of Pain. Oh, that's ridiculous. Her pinned post is ridiculous. No, I'm not even gonna put this on screen. Anyways, so I guess I'll just put this on screen real quick. So transition. Yeah, so this person, She Rage, Princess of Pain, she's trying to mock guys for being gooners, for wanting to have more appealing characters, but yet at the same time she herself has like basically the some equivalent to OnlyFans. She herself exposes herself online for money. Let me get her off the screen. Go back. Transition. We're gonna get back. Yeah. So, like, she admits that it's like, oh, if you want to see me flex my muscles, I can't find the tweets, but I saw somewhere like, you want to see me flex my muscles, less clothes, you could pay me money to do so. And someone's like, how much less? And she's like, all of it. Okay. You, the person who clearly takes your clothes off for gooners, as what you call, you who takes your clothes off for guys online, strangers online, have the moral high point here. It's like you're there's a clear double standard. Like, you clearly have no moral high point if you yourself are flaunting your own body online and then shaming guys for wanting more appealing characters. This is I'll get more into that in a second, but Well, let me see. 1 second. Yeah, she clearly has an audience herself because she makes money. I mean, she has what 200,000 followers on Twitter alone. But like that's because she has a niche in which she's roided out. I mean, I don't care what she says about like I guess she has a post saying that she's proven people wrong that Abby can exist in real life. Yeah, you're roided out. A woman that's your size with that much muscle is on roids. So stop acting like you proved people wrong just because you dressed up as Abby and look like her. Um, but the point being, yeah, hypocrisy at max level. You mean mocking men for wanting to see beauty in interactive art form, like do from the inception of video games, right? Hypocrite she is. Yeah, it's the same people who talk about women empowerment and do music videos shaking their bottoms and tops on camera. Same as having OnlyFans. Yeah, exactly. Like what she's doing is she's shaming people who aren't into her niche so that her niche becomes the normalization. That's what she wants. That's what she really wants. She's advocating because she has like, you know, Abby in her images and also Tosh in her images, which Tosh's appearance was not what people did not like about her. Same with Abby. I mean, yeah, people have a problem with Abby's appearance, but her personality did not help either. And that's my next point that I want to go into, which is the fact that these, you know, the uglification of characters, these extreme characters, whatever you want to call it, these niche characters being forced into main roles in mainstream games, all of this, all these are red flags for bad narrative, because all those characters that she had in her image, they all had bad narrative. Like especially like Abby and Tosh, people are mostly upset with, you know, the bad writing. And when we see more characters like this, and also like Mary Jane too, like when we see characters like Mary Jane who clearly looks like a downgrade from what she looked like in the previous game, like they gave her a much bigger jaw, a more manlier jaw, and then she becomes like an overpowered character in the game. We pick up on these patterns. We see that it's not only that they're making the characters less attractive on purpose, but they're putting a more focus on these characters' looks being unattractive rather than a good narrative and giving the players what we want. And this is why, like, you know, people were upset about seeing Mystique in that Wolverine gameplay, the Wolverine gameplay trailer that came out, because Mystique had a big masculine jawline, which is a red flag that there's going to be more bad things in there, and they're going to be focusing on trying to make the game push their narrative rather than actually making a good game. And you know, that's my final point I wanted to bring up, is that it's more about pushing ideology. It's more about pushing a specific narrative. Like it's not about desexualization. It's about social reprogramming. Like this whole Dove thing. Let me get this on screen. Share on screen. Transition. Seems like most of her tweets are due to roid rage. All right, let me get myself on the screen now. Okay. I feel bad for her keyboard, or worse, her phone. Oh, geez. There is no need to change MJ's face. Yeah, exactly. The Spider-Man 2 convinced me Insomniac is on. Yeah. So, yeah, this whole thing with Dove. I'm pretty sure most of you seen this thing. With Dove They're like, okay, women don't feel represented, so we want to advocate for the most extreme, we want to advocate for like people who represent less than 1% of the population to be the norm, so that 1% can feel represented, but then the 99% don't. Like having morbidly obese woman, a woman with what is this called? Man, I'm blanking. With it when their skin is white. Someone in chat remind me. I know what it is. I'm just blanking right here. And then you have what's this? Down syndrome. And then you have someone who's in a wheelchair. And I'm not hating on any of these women. I'm pretty sure they're very very friendly, very nice women. Like I'm not trying to hate on them at all, and I'm not trying to say that they're not allowed to be loved or not allowed to feel respected. But the point is, Dove was trying to say that they need these type of women in games so that all women can feel like they belong in games. And then they also had this other one, the second one, in which this ad where they had this woman who was armored up. I can't remember what she was fighting, like a dragon or something like that. She was armored up, and then she beat the level. So she went back to the backstage, like as if it's a play or something, like it's a theater, because theater and video games are the same thing apparently. But she went to the makeup room and she took off her armor, and she was wearing a more skimpy outfit, but her gut came out and like all her fat came out. So the claim is this is more sexualized and this isn't. But technically, she was wearing less clothing, and she was more covered up when she was, in a more healthy physique. So it's not about sexualization; it's about normalization of obesity, morbid obesity. It's about normalization of an extreme physique, and she was also wearing a more sexualized attire. Albino, yes, albino. I knew it started with an A. I was blanking. Yes, yeah. Thanks, Sarah Van Balahi. Let's see. Naughty Dog, Insomniac, Sucker Punch. Yeah. That was first organization. Yeah, I agree. Angry Chair. Yeah, it was a clear that they wanted to normalize extreme body types rather than healthy body types. The woman in wheelchair. She looks. The wheelchair woman is the most normal looking of them all, but because she's in a wheelchair, they're like, okay, that's enough. We got our. In fact, she's probably. Who knows if she's actually a wheelchair bound person? They probably just got someone. The producer sat onto a wheelchair. I was like, "Yep, we got a wheelchair user now." What forehead is that on the far left? We talk about. Oh, she has Down syndrome. Yeah, that's what that is. She has Down syndrome. Don't make fun of her forehead. That's not nice. Anyways. So yeah, this was definitely it was an attempt to normalize what's not healthy and they're trying to shame people and force people to say what's not normally attractive must be attractive. And like that's definitely part of their overall agenda. their overall agenda is to try to push the message that you need to be attracted to these other body types, whether they want to use that to normalize more extreme things such as body modifications, transhumanism. That is something that these billionaires are trying to push for, such as Peter Thiel. So not just switching genders up, but going beyond that, switching more than genders, like switching up race and becoming cyborgs or becoming animals, whatever. Like that's what these billionaires want to do, and that's a possibility. That's why they want to do this, or they want to do this because they rather than them improving themselves, saying, okay, it's time for me to get fit. It's time for me to grab the kettlebell back there. Let me go back to camera only. Let's transition. Yeah, so is it frozen? No, not frozen. Okay. So yeah, rather than saying, okay, I gotta get fit and I gotta grab the kettlebell, I gotta do a workout, I need to do pull-ups. No, instead I want to force everybody else to accept me for how I am, rather than me accepting my flaws and realizing I need to do something different. And they're definitely pushing this more on women than men. Like every time I go to Target, you go through the clothing section for men, you see all of the pictures, the models. All the models are like either normal dudes or fit guys, like guys with muscle. You go through the women's section and they'll have maybe one or two normal looking women and the rest are fat, like obese. And they really want to push this on women. More cyborg, just like Adam Smasher. Let's see, what else I got to say on this. So yeah. Talked about the and whether it's to push push for these unhealthy body types, or I mean even that woman that I showed, even that person who made the original tweet, She Rage, she falls under that, where she's trying to push for people to be more into roided out women like her, so that she is the normal rather than what most guys will consider as healthy as normal. And again, I feel like I gotta say this every 10 minutes or so. It's fine to be into a certain niche, whatever. If you're into something, if that's something that you see and you find that attractive, have at it. It's the fact that they're trying to shame everybody else for not liking that. Like, quit shaming other people for not liking what's outside of the universal appeal. Anyways, so that's all I got on that. Oh, I got like maybe 15, 20 minutes left. So let me be quicker on this other topic. Let me get so this trailer dropped 4 weeks ago, actually, but I didn't learn about this until yesterday. I think I caught up with the chat. Yeah, I'm caught up. All right. So we saw this trailer. Let me make this full screen. Well, actually, let me get the image. Ooh, sorry, I burped in the mic. I apologize. That just snuck up. Where is an image? Okay, so images, Netflix, Splinter Cell Deathwatch. And there we go. Let's get full screen on this image. Open image in new tab. All right. So we have, let me stop the recording since I'm not doing more. Stop recording. Yeah, don't need that anymore. At this point, it's no longer about genuine representation. It's about ego. It's definitely. I think it's definitely about social reprogramming. I think that is the underlying goal. Because it's not just about them making themselves feel better, but they want to change the world. Whether they are intentionally wanting to change it in a negative way or not, they are, that's basically the goal, is to change the world, change social interactions. Where is, okay, scene. Let's do this. Go transition. All right. So yeah, this is, let me get myself on the screen too. Transition. There we go. Splinter Cell Deathwatch. As you can see, we got an even older Sam Fisher. So Sam Fisher started off old in the very first game, and they made him. He gets infinitely older. Like every time we see him, I'm pretty sure he's probably like 95, maybe 112. He's somewhere like he just infinitely gets older. He's the same age as Moses, I believe, in this picture. But and then we have this new character that we've never seen before. Never seen this character before. I mean, this is definitely, this hairstyle definitely screams special operative. Someone who's going to sneak and infiltrate into a base with this big hairstyle. I mean, I looked into it. Trying to see, is it realistic for a military special operative to have long hair, just long hair in general? And the answer is no. It is extremely rare for a special operative to have long hair. Not just dreads, but just long hair. At this point, it is heresy with. Let's see. At this point, is heresy with what they are doing with Splinter Cell. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I loved Splinter Cell, and they are just going all out with. Ubisoft hasn't learned. They have not learned anything. Oh, I didn't know about this. LEL. He's trying to keep up with Solid Snake's clothing. All right. But anyways, let's go into the trailer. Let's close those out. Close that. So and I'll keep the audio off. That's to be seen. Another thing, where is, so we have Ubisoft Television. Where's the guy's name? Well, it's the actor Liev. Where is it? So there it is. Liev Schreiber. Yeah, Liev Schreiber. So this is the guy. Like, he's been in quite a few things, and I think a lot of people mostly remember him from that bad X-Men Origins movie where he they replaced Sabretooth with him. So this guy, like, he gets all these roles with being a tough guy, being a big tough guy, but like he's definitely all about pushing the message, pushing the ideology. Like his son, he's a big supporter of his son being wearing a dress. Let's just say that. He's a big supporter of that. So, him doing the voice of Sam Fisher, like, yeah, he definitely beat that. That is a red flag on its own, that they're probably going to make Sam Fisher be ridiculed to this other character, Zinnia. Like, he'll probably admit she's better than him in every single way. He'll be like, "Oh, you need to be my replacement." Like that's basically what's gonna likely happen with this. Because I think just him alone is a red flag due to the fact that he's a big supporter of the ideology. Let me go back to camera, transition. There we go. All right. At this point, okay, yeah. Oh, I didn't. He's trying to keep up with the. Okay, I already read that. Yeah. So, um, yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of Splinter Cell. I played most of Splinter Cell games. I don't think I beat. What was it? I think it was called Blacklist. I by the time I bought that game, I was really busy with my career, and the amount of time I put into video games got drastically reduced. So I just didn't get a chance to finish it. I mean, from what I remember, it was still good. It was just more fast paced. It just played a little bit differently from the other Splinter Cell games, but they Ubisoft's just a disappointment. I feel like a disappointed dad. Like they just keep on disappointing more and more. They're ruining all their franchises. Yeah, like I believe Tencent's supposed to have like start gaining control of their IPs, but clearly they didn't get it soon enough to change this up, because, or maybe Ubisoft has control over what they do with the IPs outside of the games. I'm not really too sure. I'm not like a business expert, nor do I know the details of their business agreements between Tencent and Ubisoft. Hope they never do this to Metal Gear, my favorite game. I love Metal Gear. It's not even Michael Ironside as Sam. No go for me. Well, three. Okay. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. It's disappointing. I mean, yeah, like it doesn't ruin my enjoyment of the older games. Like this applies to all franchises. Like when they mess up a franchise, it doesn't ruin my appreciation of what I had for that franchise previously, but it just comes off as disappointing because or it leaves me disappointed because why are you doing this? You could make something great. You can make another good thing, but instead you choose to make something ridiculous. You choose to take this IP, and rather than cash out and make something that the fans want, you're attempting to cash out by fooling them into getting into the IP that they love, but it's meant for somebody else. Or maybe even meant for nobody. It's meant for 5 people. And that's what's frustrating about all this. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six. Yeah, they're Tom Clancy is rolling in his grave. Man. And again, this Zinnia character, there is a slight chance she can be a really good character, but she is holding every red flag. The chance that she's a good character is tiny because of the fact that she's holding all the red flags, and she's the most blatant of all red flags. It's a trope at this point. I hope the next BioShock and Judas remain creatively pure. We'll see. Only time will tell. Anyways, that's all I got on this stream. I don't really have anything else to add. I appreciate all you guys. This has been a another busy chat, and I really appreciate all you guys chiming in your thoughts. I appreciate your interactions. All of you who post in the chat. Even if you didn't post in the chat and you watched, I still appreciate you. But more appreciation to those who chimed in. It makes this more fun. And again, just to recap what I said in the very beginning, for those of you who joined in a little bit later, I'm pretty busy outside of the YouTube at the moment. The semester just is ending right now, so I got to wrap up a lot of work. And then once that's wrapped up, then I have no more work, so I need to really double down and triple down on getting a new job. So I need man, even if I guess I'll like hit up like Best Buy, see if they need Geek Squad or something. But I guess I'll look into Upwork. Maybe I can do some like video editing or like thumbnails or something like that, some graphics on Upwork. But I'm trying to focus a lot on finances and work at the moment. So what I'm going to be doing, I say be too much. What I'm going to do, what I'm doing is I'll keep doing these live streams, but the video will probably come from those live streams. The video that I'm going to do, at least for the next couple months or so. I'll see. It's not going to be a permanent thing. It's just so I can keep the channel updated for a while. But I'm basically going to be more efficient with my time, do a local recording of the live streams, and then I'll pull from that to make the big videos. Or big videos? I guess the main videos, like the 8-minute long videos I post each week. So that's basically the plan. Anyways, I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I appreciate your understanding as far as things getting busy with my work life at the moment. So things are going to shift a little bit for now with the YouTube, but once things get more back to normal, maybe when next semester starts, I don't know, we'll see. But when things get back to normal, I'll get back to doing the videos, at least like more properly again. Again, thanks for joining. I'll see you guys again, and